Hello, welcome to my demonstration video for Enhancement 5 with the server and client-side validation. So just to start out here, we're going to start with the classifications and we're going to do the front-end checklist for both classification and the vehicle. So starting out with the wave and classification, we see it all checks out there. Here's all the CSS sources that are being pulled in. The HTML, there's no errors. CSS, there's no errors. And then this example, the mobile there. If we go to vehicle, we can do the same exact thing, where if we look there, checks out just fine. No HTML errors, no CSS errors. CSS files are just fine, and the mobile on that one. So cool. So let's start with the add classification. So we'll start with the user side validation. So the client, and this is with all the forms, even with the vehicle one, if it's not valid, it'll show a red border. If it is valid, it will make it green, and then it'll allow you to just add it here. The only other user side validation on this one is you can only do a certain amount of characters, so you can only go 30 characters long. But then if I do the backside validation on classification, the only thing it's doing is like the trim before or after with the filtering and any unwanted characters, and then it adds it up there. So that's it for classification. If we head over to vehicle, like I said, the CSS front end thing, it's the same thing. The only difference I will mention is with the front end, it's like the price and the stock only accept number values with the regex on the front end. So like if I have numbers, they turn green. If I add like a letter or something, it doesn't like it. So I have that. And the color one is if I were to add like a number to it, then it also doesn't like it. With these, we'll just kind of throw in just random kind of junk here. Okay, so it all checks out on the user side. I guess just to show that it is working, it says, please match the requested format. Or here, kind of the same thing. So, and that's the same thing with the color. So, cool. So now that is all the client side validation. So now for the server side here, so we're going to do it where we're going to make this a letter. I'm going to hit no validate. And then it brings us back here and it's like, hey, that's not right. And if you also noticed, all these attributes remain sticky. So it just kind of stays there. So I can place this guy back in there. And that's the same thing with stock. So I can just quickly show that. Oh, sorry, no validate. Still throws that error, send it back, and that's the same thing with color. Validate, and still throws it there. And alongside with the regex and patterns and things that's doing in the functions, it's doing the normal trim and any other flags. And just to show that it would work, if everything goes through, if I add it, so I added the vehicle, and the error is gone, so that means it went through. So then if I go into my PHP thing here and do it, it has come in like this, which is good. And the one thing that you told me to mention is, at least with the price, for some reason it's always coming in as a whole number, not as a decimal. Even though we worked through, we can figure that out, but just thought I mentioned that. But yes, but besides that, that is an example of my server-side and client-side validation, and I hope you sort of enjoy.